Take a listen at the Burkinabe President Captain Ibrahim Traore caution Africans' cowardice, treachery and incompetence in this address that he delivered on the African Youth Day 2024 in Burkina Faso, in which he also cautioned them against blindly believing misinformation or propaganda by the imperialists.
Hello brothers and sisters, I really hope you're all doing fine now. This is the time that we've been talking about, the time to consider the motherland as a sovereign continent. This continent has suffered a lot. Exploitation of mineral resources. Its children were taken away into slavery. Oppression still continues. Police brutality still continues. So there is need for us to talk about this.
Hello everyone. I would like to welcome all the young people from the 13 regions who are in the hall and those who were unable to access the hall. To all the young people who have come from Africa to accompany the Burkinabe youth, welcome to the country of upright men. I will pay a vibrant tribute to our valiant defense and security forces and our VDP visionaries, who fight day and night so that Burkina Faso is peaceful and stands. I pause and request that may we take a moment to pray for those who are on the ground, and also for the souls of those who fell for our homeland. I thank you. Let us give thanks to God, who has allowed us to meet here today on the occasion of the celebration of the International Day of African Youth. I say this very often because human beings often forget God when they have no problems, when they are happy. But when worries come, that is when we remember God. Give thanks every day for the breath of life and for health. Youth. Youth of Burkina, youth of Africa, youth. This is a phase of life where we have enough strength, enough energy, like the paraphraser, the slam poet, who has just passed. Youth is the time when we do not have enough time. We must take advantage of the time given to us, use the energy necessary to achieve our goals, to change the world, change our world, change the world of others positively. Children. Children want to grow up to be young adults. Old people want to become young again. Everyone wants to be young. Youth is a blessing, so take advantage of youth to do useful work. That is why when I see in the chosen theme, the first two words challenge us, that is integration and security. Africa faces many challenges and we must ask ourselves questions. Is youth an asset or a handicap for the development of nations? The answer is simple and unequivocal, and you know it. Most developed countries have an aging population, and currently many countries have launched programs to rejuvenate their populations. Africa is fortunate to have a very young population. But why is Africa not developed? So we will have to look at the question of why Africa has a young population and it is not developed. And sir, the countries that call themselves developed are looking to rejuvenate their populations. So we have to turn our youth into a real asset and a driver of development for our continent. And to do that, We need integration, we need development, we need security, and we need to unite. Of course, you will hear about the African Union. Yes, it exists, but what is the effect of the African Union in reality? We will not be able to talk about integration in the theme and not talk about the African Union, because it is this organization that should unite us and create real integration. But we regret to see these wars that persist on the African continent that kill millions of young people, and that this organization that is the head of states and provided with an army cannot organize itself to support certain countries. The Union is not just a word. The Union is a symbol, and we young people should learn the sound of this situation to unite to make integration a reality. I was unpleasantly surprised when Ethiopia, which hosts the headquarters of the African Union, plunged into divine conflict. And when I saw the Prime Minister go into the lengths of announcing the closure of Addis Ababa University to face the threat, I did not see the action of the African Union to protect these headquarters. Most Western states saw Addis Ababa fall and therefore packed up and left. Ethiopia fought, found an internal solution and lives more in peace today. The children of Congo have been dying for years. Several other conflicts such as Sudan exist on the continent. We would have liked to see the African Union generate the forces and all the strategies necessary to support these states so that they can find peace. We will not even come to talk about ourselves here in the Sahel. For nearly 10 years, the Sahel has been the scene of international terrorism. But we see no support from these organizations to find a solution to this problem. Worse still, a few days ago, a foreign country in Africa openly announced that it had supported and participated in a cowardly terrorist and barbaric attack against the forces of our confederation in Tinzouten. The African Union has not said a word to condemn this interference. The African Union has not said a word to condemn this interference by a state outside Africa in the internal affairs of our states. And I would like them to hear this outburst and therefore come out of their silence and take action so that young people can believe in the African Union. We need to unite. We need to unite, and the only way to unite young people, let me tell you that to unite, there are 3 words, 3 great vices that must be banished from our behavior and our life. I am talking about cowardice, treachery and incompetence. We need to banish. We need to banish these 3 words from our way of life, and I will explain to you why. Cowardice covers many vices. A coward is always afraid. And when we are afraid, we become slaves, we bend, and we lick others. Our ancestors were not cowards, and if we are cowards, our children will ask us questions. Imagine that in Burkina, We refuse to fight and we agree to submit to live in slavery. Tomorrow our children will grow up, they will ask themselves questions. That, were our parents cowards to leave us in slavery? Whether we are alive or dead, we will feel it. The coward is afraid and the imperialists have understood this. They try to scare the leaders so that you become cowards. Because when you are a coward, all the other vices can be born. They do everything so that we are afraid. They come to our palaces, they threaten us directly or issue veiled threats. Of course, we respond as we should. They try to make us understand. They always give examples. They will tell us, you know, Thomas Sankara tried to do it like that, but where is he? He is dead. The Haitian president tried to do it like that. Where is he? He is dead. Gaddafi tried like that. Where is he? He is dead. These are words that are said to us in a veiled way to scare us. And then, we also often see some young people trying to follow suit or in another way. We can hear them say such and such a person reigned like this, he has the ICC on him, such and such a person reigned like this, he is in prison. All that is to try to scare us so that we become cowards, but I think they have not understood something. When we say homeland or death, we mean we will win. It is not just a phrase. It is not just a phrase, it has its full meaning. We are not afraid and we will never be afraid. They have surely scared many African heads of state. You often see when we speak out or when we have the opportunity to be in certain situations abroad, we often make remarks to challenge African heads of state to wake up and take care of our youth so that we can begin our real development. We are often misunderstood. Some have publicly responded to our remarks because they feel singled out. But I can assure you, youth, that when we find ourselves in the corridors, these same heads of state tell us you are on the right track. This is what must be done so that Africa can emerge. So we ask them questions as to why you do not do as we do, why you do not accompany us. Some tell us that they have thought about it, some tell us that they cannot. Dear elders, African heads of state, from the top of this podium, therefore I would like to say that the African people are the most peaceful people. When you recognize a wrong, you must tell the people so that we are not afraid tomorrow to come out and tell the people. We apologize, we have been compromised, we have ill-gotten gains, we have been compromised by several things, and that we ask for forgiveness and we are getting back on the right track. And to start to really work for the independence of our states and our emancipation. And I think it is possible. If we remain in this position of fear, we will be cowards and history will judge us. Our children will ask questions, our grandchildren will ask questions. We are writing history, and there is no room to buy fear. If our ancestors had been cowards, we would not be here. Remember, I'll tell you an example of the Bamileke and Bassa people, I mean the Cameroonians. The Union of the Populations of Cameroon, who since the 50s began an implacable fight against the colonists. But they were massacred. The French colonial armies at the time poured in battalions of infantry, tanks, helicopters and wiped out entire villages. The most inhuman tortures took place during this period. You can do research on what they call the swing or the Bakassiva. Hundreds of thousands of populations were decimated in this way in Africa because they dared to ask the settlers to leave their lands. This resulted in a civil war that lasted several years. This is to say that people confronted the imperialists with bare hands so that we are here. There is no reason why we cannot confront the imperialists so that our future generations can live. There are many examples throughout Africa of courageous men who refused to be complacent, who fought, who faced it, and let us be worthy of these people. We are their descendants and let us be worthy of them. A coward cannot be worthy. Let us not be cowards, African youth. Because a coward is always a traitor, and that goes hand in hand. And we will do, they will try to scare us so that we are cowards. And if we are cowards, we will betray. We must banish treachery from our habits. Africans were traitors so that the slave trade could succeed in Africa. It is because Africans were traitors that colonization was able to hold in Africa. Let us question history, we will see. Patrice Lumumba was betrayed because he dared to stand up. And these same Belgian televisions came to Congo for some biases extended to individuals in Congo, for an interview or to please their population, and you were able to follow that. Lumumba, he bothered us, he died, we are happy. It is treason. Many other heroes have fallen so that we are here today. And it is a technique of imperialism to scare others by carrying out actions to really create terror.
To take the floor here and to pass on to you the fraternal greetings of the people of the land of men of integrity. It is from the Almighty that we have been able to gather here this morning in good health to talk about the future and the well-being of our people. I am going to apologize to the elders whom I may offend in my future remarks. Because of Africanity, because of the rights of one of them, I have to apologize. Comrade, I have a few questions from my generation. Not a single question that is being asked. We don't have an answer, and it turns out that here we can wash our linseed because we feel like a family. It feels like a family in the sense that Russia is also a family for Africa. It is a family because we have the same history. Russia made enormous sacrifices to liberate the world from Nazism during the Second World War. The people of Africa, our grandfathers, were also forcibly deported to help Europe get rid of Nazism. We share the same history in the sense that we are the forgotten peoples of the world, whether in the history books, in documentaries or in film, insofar as we sweep away the preponderant role played by Russia and Africa in this fight against Nazism. We are here together because we are here to talk about the future of our peoples and what is to come. Of the future of tomorrow, of the free world to which we aspire, of a world without interference in our internal affairs. We have the same prospects, and I hope that this summit will be an opportunity to forge very good relations and to create a better future for our peoples. The questions that my generations are asking themselves about the next generation, if I can sum it up, is that they do not understand how Africa, with so much wealth on our soil, with its generous nature, water and abundant sunshine, Africa is today the poorest continent. Africa is a starving continent, and how is it that our heads of state are traveling through the world of a man? These are questions that we are asking ourselves and that we have not yet had answers. We have the opportunity to forge new relationships, and I hope that these relations can be the best, to give a better future to our peoples. My generation also instructs me to say that because of poverty, they are forced to cross the ocean in order to try to reach Europe. They die in the ocean. But that soon they will not have crossed it, because they will come in front of our palaces to look for their daily sustenance. As far as Burkina Faso is concerned, for more than 8 years, we have been confronted with the most barbaric and violent form of neo-colonialism and imperialism. Slavery still has so much to impose on us. Our front runners have taught us one thing: slavery that is not capable of accepting its own revolt does not deserve to be relied upon by its fate. We don't worry about our fate. We are not asking for someone to rely on our fate. The people of Burkina Faso have decided to fight against hypothyrism capable of reviving its development. In this struggle, valiant peoples, wines and a population have pledged to take up arms in the face of terrorists. The ones we actually call the VDPs, volunteers. We are surprised to see the imperialists calling these VDPs militias and of all kinds. It is one of those wines, because in Europe, when people take up arms to defend their patriots, they are called patriots. Our grandfathers were deported to save Europe. It was not with their consent, against their grey. Well, on the way back, we remember that in Traore, when they tried to bandage their elemental sheet, they were massacred, so it doesn't matter. When we people decide to defend ourselves, we are called militias. But that's not the problem. What is the problem is to see African heads of state who bring nothing to these peoples who are fighting, but who sing the same thing as the imperialists. To our militia dealers, to our traders, therefore, to men who do not respect human rights, hence the human right. We are effusive against this and these shameful people. We, the African heads of state, must stop behaving like puppets who dance every time the imperialists pull the strings. Yesterday, President Vladimir Putin announced that the grain would be sent to Africa. And we are very happy, and we thank each other for that. But it is also a message to our African heads of state, because at the next forum, we must not come here without having ensured that our peoples will be able to achieve food self-sufficiency for those who do not know war. We need to learn from those who have already been able to achieve this in Africa, build good relations here and build better relations with the Russian Federation so that we can meet the needs of our people. I may not be slow. Time is running out and very short. We are obliged to stop and love my take. But I would like to end by saying that we must therefore pay tribute to our peoples who are fighting. Glory to our peoples, dignity to our peoples, victory to our peoples, homeland or death will come. Thank you, comrades.
I've always talked about Ibrahim Traore, one of the best leaders so far we have in Africa and in the world. Now, Ibrahim Traore has always received criticism from the Western media and from the Western countries just because he has refused to dine with them. Now, we know our people are being oppressed, but who is there to talk for them? No one. Now, we know the leadership of our countries have always been controlled by the Western countries. Now, the US has always played a big role in the problems that we face today. Now, European Union has always played a big role in the problems we face today in our black countries. Now, talking of our countries that got independence days and years back, but we still languish in poverty. We still lack employment. We still have bad infrastructure. We are still fighting corruption. And those people who are fighting corruption are the most corrupt. Now, this is whatever is happening in most black countries. And the Western countries are very happy to see us suffer and maybe trying to fight our problems in and out each day. That's the work we only do. And for that case, we've always remained behind. Now, Ibrahim Traore has always spoken, and he has said that for black countries to fight corruption, we should first avoid with all that we can these European countries. And when he says that, some people get him wrong and say he's a dictator or something. Now, this is a man who is so visionary. He has seen whatever the white countries has done to black countries. Now, go to the Caribbean. The people in the Caribbean are crying day in, day out. Their beaches have been sold to white countries. Now, go to one of their most luxurious and the best beaches we have in Jamaica, in Haiti, in each and every country that is in the Caribbean. You are going to realize that these beaches do not belong to that country anymore. They are being controlled by either China, US, and other investors from other countries. And this is whatever gives that country their national heritage, their national this is whatever they can be proud of, their beaches. But see whatever is happening. Now, if you come to Africa, Africans are really fighting corruption day in, day out. But we can't manage to fight corruption because those who purport to be fighting the corruption are the most corrupt. Now, what am I really saying in this case? And what is my message today? Now, Ibrahim Traore has been talking, and he said he wants black Americans to go back to come back to Africa. And when he says that, he means that he has opened doors for all African Americans and for all African diasporans to come back. And this, he means the Caribbeans, Jamaicans, and all those in Europe and in America. So, but why have we seen our black brothers not coming back? One, it's because of the bad state of our countries. Now, look at most of our countries dominated by corruption. Apart from corruption, see how high level of unemployment has played a big role in making sure that we still remain poor. Now, these are the things that scare our brothers and sisters from coming back. Now, the other day I checked, we are so much into corruption, in that when there is no corruption, we feel like there is a piece of us missing. Now, this has affected countries in the Caribbean too. Now, as I'm talking right now, the Prime Minister of Jamaica is under probe for corruption. Now, he has been accused of opening so many accounts, and which these accounts have been receiving large or huge amount of money. And actually, this is taxpayers' money if in case he's found guilty. Now, we are talking about black countries, and one reason I do feel this way, one reason we still have corruption, one reason we still have the problems that we face today, it is because of our elections and electorate system. Now, our elections have always been faced with corruption and manipulations. Now, people might want someone else, but the system plus the US or the European Union want someone else, and who they'll put in power so that they can go on doing whatever they do. That's why it has been so hard for them to believe that Ibrahim Traore is the president of Burkina Faso, because he wasn't elected. He took over power because he saw whatever was going on in his own country. Now, this is the time, brothers and sisters, let's embrace ourselves. Jamaicans, brace yourselves. Caribbeans, brace yourself. Africans. Now, the last time I checked, in my own country, my president is a puppet, and he has always been advocating for the Western countries, the GMO. Now, Bill Gates has taken over most countries in Africa. Now, he is going on doing the GMO thing in and out, day in, day out. He pays the president, he pays our leaders, then he can go on do whatever he wants with our lives. He does all businesses, including electronics and all that. Why is he not so much satisfied that he wants our lives too? But we have leaders who have accepted that. The last time I checked, Africa is actually being run by either France, US, China, or Russia. Why don't we have our own independent systems? Neo-colonialism has played a big role just after independence. Then the question is, why did our fathers fight so hard for independence? Why did they have to die? If these people still go on dying with the oppressors and all this is whatever Ibrahim Traore has been speaking about. He has been talking about the atrocities that actually face black people, the black nations. He once said that those black people in the diaspora should actually be reparated, because these people went through a lot to see these countries where they are. The industrial revolution that took place both in the US and in Europe, it was because of their hard working. They were so hard working in their industries, in their factories, in their farms. That's why we've seen the success economically, politically, and socially in these white countries. It is time that they should pay for the labor. It is not something that we are asking as a favor. No, black people deserve reparations. And I hope the person who is going to take over the mandate in the US is actually going to sign for black people to be reparated. Black people went through a lot. So many people died. So, black brothers, this is the time. Jamaicans, this is the time. I know our leadership have always failed us, but we as the people, we shall do whatever we gotta do to make our countries better. There is nothing that will help our countries apart from good leadership. Good leadership is that which is corruption-free. Good leadership is that which doesn't favor a person because they come from where you come from, or a group of people because they belong to your family. Good leadership belongs to the people. It's serving the people without looking back where they come from. Which group do they belong to? Which color do they belong to? Good leadership is giving it all for your countrymen. So brothers and sisters, we actually responsible. Talking a lot, talking too much won't help us. Let's make things work. Actions. Sometimes I do say to my countrymen in Kenya that streets, demonstration, strikes do help a lot. That's the only language some people in government do understand. Our countries are being taken for a ride. We've seen how much people are suffering, how many families, how women and children are going to suffer if we continue allow puppet leaders in our countries. This is the time. Do civic education to your brothers and sisters. Tell them it is not right until it's made right. Tell them if it's not today, if it's not now, there is no any other day. We're gonna make it. Let's rise above oppression. Let's fight. Let's fight and fight for our rights. Let's fight for whatever is good for our countries. We can't allow to see our continent Africa sink. We can't allow to see the Caribbean sink because of bad leadership and puppet leaders. We are going to speak truth to power. That's whatever Ibrahim Traore is advocating for. And that's whatever I'm advocating for. Truth to power. Talk until you are heard. If you're not heard, take to the streets, demonstrate until they see it, until they feel it. That's when you stop. We only stop when we get whatever is rightfully ours, when we get whatever we want. So brothers and sisters, never give up. The time is now, the time is today. There is no any other day we can make it right. Go on doing whatever is right. And in the context of all this, God, Allah, will bless us. One love from wherever you're watching me from. I hope you're having a good time. Thank you so much.